Okay, Mr. Gearworth, here's a couple notes from the many things we discussed today in our lesson. So apologize for all of the swing notes, but let's simplify it and just focus on a few. So starting with probably the easiest one is address. We want to make sure that at address you're not working against yourself. We want to help you get the ball up in the air, not make it harder for you. So when you get at address, we want to make sure that we have, especially with your longer clubs, we'd like to see more of a neutral shaft angle. So rather than having your hands so far pressed forward, we'd like to see maybe a hair of a press forward. This is maybe just a little bit too much. We'd rather see the shaft a little bit more neutral, so the ball will be just a hair closer to your front foot. And then when we get into the driver, we saw how important it was to have it at your front foot. So the ball is going to feel like it's a lot further forward than what you're accustomed to, but it clearly pays off because we saw the results towards the end of that lesson today. Okay, so let's get into the actual moving parts of the swing. So not much has changed for as far as the backswing. We're still working on trying to keep that right arm nice and straight. You do a great job of that. We're going to zoom in on your glove hand here, and we're going to see that you've got a nice flat wrist. So all the stuff we've been working on starting to take shape nicely. The big adjustment we made today is what to do with that left hand. I guess we've ignored it for quite some time, but now we need it to do something for us. So as we start our downswing, let's take a step back here. Before we get to our downswing, there's our thumbs up position, right? So we've got the thumbs up, nice flat wrist. As we get to the top of the swing, we want to transition here from the thumbs up position into the serving tray position. So let's watch what that left hand's doing now. We'll zoom in, and you can see how that left hand goes from there to boom, there it is. You can see that serving tray position. All right, so it almost looks like you could hold a plate of drinks with that left hand. So instead of the club feeling like it's going over you and steeply down to the ball, we're actually letting the hands, or that left hand in particular, fall back or almost collapse into a serving tray position, and that's allowing that club to shallow out. So now when you get back to this point, the club head's out of the frame, but you can see that the club is so much further back from the ball now that there's a lot more ground to make up, but it's a lot less steep. It's a lot more shallow angle. A lot shallower angle coming through, so you don't have to hit down on it as hard. That's going to give you more time to sweep through. You're going to spend more time in the hitting area and allow your body to rotate just that much more. So as you come through now, so long as you don't release your arms too soon, which you've done a beautiful job of not doing here, it's now allowing you to rotate. And if we look there, the hips have done a great job of rotating open. And it looks like it's just much easier for you to get your weight onto your front side. So you're finishing with easily 90% of your weight on your right foot, and it's a nice smooth transition. It doesn't look, or to you in your words, it doesn't feel like you're working very hard at it. It's more of a sweeping motion, spending more time in the hitting area and getting all your weight onto your front side. I know that was a lot to cover, but the big one is getting up to the top of that swing and letting that left hand fall in the serving tray position to allow you to have that sweeping motion. Keep working on it. Enjoy your long weekend, and we'll see you next week.